Hey guys, my name is Becc. I'm a psychic channel and sacred Lotus teacher. Welcome to this video. We are talking about bringing in the new earth and what that means, how to move through, all the things that are involved in that. So the first things I'm going to talk about is the psychic insights that I've received, visions and messages from my spirit guides, higher dimensional beings, and how to embody this change in a really strong way so that we hold the light and we move through. That's one of the major pieces of information that's come through. So I have notes to the side here. I want to tell you what my guide said when I first tuned into it for this topic. They said, "The dawn of the new earth is upon you." And I was like, whoa, guys. It was a very majestic statement. But essentially that is what's happening. It is quite amazing. It is quite beautiful. When we talk about new earth and this thing, we're talking about the ascension cycle, the ending of the shadow cycles, all these different ways of putting an elevation in consciousness, an elevation in the earth's vibration as well, which causes us to have to entrain with that new planetary vibration. It's also our position in the universe as well. So regarding this time cycle, the last time that there was a ascension cycle like this, it was the time of Lemuria and Atlantis. So that is why a lot of cosmic information is coming through about Lemuria at this time. So Lemuria is basically, it was a place where it was an awakened time for the people, the Lemurians, who are, it's our history. And so we are bringing forth and embodying those same essences or qualities of being that were active at that time. So peace, magic, awakened consciousness, earth magic, intuitive, non-separation. Ultimately, a good way to understand it is unity consciousness. Unity consciousness. This is our next step up. That's what's happening. Fifth dimensional consciousness is a unity consciousness. It's what we're doing. So I want to tell you about the visions that I received, which will help to further understand this. So I was half asleep, as I often am when I receive predictive visions or frequencies, messages from spirit. You know that state where you're kind of like still dreaming, but you're kind of awake and you're like, oh, I'm thinking really weird thoughts right now. It's kind of that state. I'm just going to adjust this. I saw an island. So first I saw the ocean, but then out of the ocean rose this like very huge island. It was green and forest covered, like that lush rainforest green. And it pulled itself up from out of the ocean in that very cinematic movie way where something comes out of the ocean, something huge, and tons of water are like pouring off of it. That's what it looked like. And so it took a minute and it was rising and rising and I was just half asleep like, whoa. And then as it began to settle, which it took a little bit, but it settled and water was still kind of dripping off of it. My attention or vision was at the shoreline. So there was like the mountains and then a shore and then the water. And just before it went green, so it's like on the sand kind of, almost in front of a mountain, I would say, these giant crystals. Think of a crystal cluster, but imagine it like the size of like a house or a mini mountain or something. It started to shoot out of the earth, out of the land there, right in front of this green lush area on the shore. The same way or similar to Superman's Fortress of Solitude. If you've ever seen that, I love Superman. But these points of the crystal cluster, they rose and they were like this, and then they were like a dark purpley brownish color, and they were making this very cool like crystals moving in the earth moving sound, cinematic sound. Then as they began to settle and it was like this big cluster of this beautiful deep colored crystal, light codes, like light language inscription, was on the sides of one of these points, and it was like gold and it was glowing. So after that, I slowly got up, and then I kind of received the further insight about that. And I also just sort of immediately understood that this is Lemuria rising. The island that I was seeing looked very similar to Hawaii, and as many know, Hawaii is the old place of Lemuria. So Lemuria energy is rising at this time. This and that crystal represented that the Akashic record, or the energetic blueprint of Lemuria, of that history and that consciousness, all that's contained within it, is much more accessible to us now than ever before. That it is fully returning into our collective, into our consciousness. Those crystals have not been, let's say, awake for a very long time, for eons of time. They have had to wait for our self-permission through our energy, through our awakening, how much of us are awakened, etc. So this is really momentous. This is really amazing, actually. And the light codes on the side, these are light codes that match the light codes in your energetic DNA, the part of your DNA that is non-physical. So as it was like glowing, there's also a glowingness, and which represents a resonance that can happen in the light codes in your being. So we are encouraged at this time to consciously connect to those crystals. These are life forms that were organically put together or helped to come together by the Lemurian people and by our own waking consciousness. So you can access them, connect with them, join with them in meditation. That's probably the best way to do it. It's an energetic resonance. Just be with them, receive whatever arises for you when you visualize yourself being with these giant crystals. It will upgrade, for lack of a better term, your energetic being. You may also get memories of your lifetime there, which is very cool and will have a lesson or learning for you. Yes, so I already said that unity consciousness is what this is about. The other visions that I had was of the Earth, and the Earth, well, it was the Earth in space, our regular Earth in space. Then there was a second Earth that was like coming out of it, like that cell division process, and I'm not sure of the word. And this was, the second Earth was very green and very deep blue. You know how our Earth, if you look at it from space, has pieces of brown and all of that? This was all that lush green color. It also, the water had a sparkling, clean, purity, magical quality to it. There was also purple over it, which represented the spiritual forces of us and the galactic spiritual forces that were supporting us and being with us, our awareness and our connection. So that spiritual energy was wrapping around this second Earth. And so obviously this is pretty self-explanatory. It's the new Earth being born. The other vision that I had was of the current Earth in space, and there were these light streams of energy pouring down onto it of all different colors, like not all of them, like gold, blue, red or green or something. And then there was also this like just gold, big shooting down one as well. And I was like, whoa, what's that? But it had the quality of solar flare energy. And all of this represents even the solar flare and the more just energetic streams, it's all energy pouring in to our earth at this time. And that's a big part of why we're feeling so much that we're feeling right now. These light codes are our remembrance of higher frequencies. And it is all a process, a natural process of the earth herself shifting in energy. So that energy and those solar flares is more for the earth, for what she's doing in her own energetic blueprint. We're just being affected because we live upon her. And we can do it. We can awaken. So I also got some more direct things from my higher dimensional guides. These include Andromedan beings, Pleiadian beings, angels. I have a mix of guides. They were speaking about how all that we do affects the whole, and how important it is for you, for us, to really step into that as a reality. I think for a long time, especially light workers, we have been aware that, like, you know, we're this concept of oneness, but it has to become our total reality. It has to become that I am you and you are me. And my guides were saying that all that you do affects the whole. All of the beings here, not only on this planet, but also in this universe, in the universe that you're in. They were saying if you would choose to emanate peace, you bring peace into this world and the universe. What you are affects all else. What you embody, what you are in any moment. So what you create creates for all beings, and also those in this universe. And then they started speaking about how we are joining as a sacred race, an awakened race. That we have always been here for you. The guides, these extra dimensional beings of light, have always been here for humanity. But there's a collective decision now that is being made to awaken. And they said that many have heard of utopia unfolding. This is the time. And again, I was just like, whoa. But basically, they want us to get that humanity, as you might know, has been in a collective way, kind of in a collective known way, not so directly influenced by other beings. We are totally influenced by them, but only as much as we give our energetic permission. We also, you know, it's not like we are like, oh yes, I've elected. We don't have humans on the Galactic Council, for example. Because we haven't been awakened, we haven't been responsible enough which is what happens when you step into unity consciousness. They go hand in hand. In order for us to be involved in the universe, in that very real, we're a part of it, and being respected is the wrong word, but taken seriously in our role on a galactic council, something like that. We have to be in an awakened state, at minimum aware of unity consciousness. Because right now we've been doing our own thing, we've been destroying each other, we've been all these different things. That hasn't been going very well. But my guys are saying that all of this, it is an amazing time because we are stepping into that sacred decision. This is that sacred shift. So the more that you can practice and embody unity consciousness, what you do affects the whole. What you are affects the whole. What you suppress in you, your light, that affects the whole. Stepping into service is so important at this time. And so many people are doubting their position, their purpose. That's what holds us back. But you are a part of the whole. When you don't shine your light, I can't shine my light as strongly. Our collective light is dimmed if you don't shine your light. So as much as your mind might tell you that you're not worthy, you are, otherwise you wouldn't be here. You wouldn't incarnate. There's something in you that the rest of us would benefit from. That's how it works. So this is more on this process of the shift. Notice what all of this has caused. It's caused a great call to action to light workers to all of us. It's also caused a purification of fear and isolation-based frequencies through the circumstances that trigger that. Do you see how fear and isolation are the opposite of unity consciousness? So they must come up to be purified and brought into a higher vibration that more closely represents unity consciousness. They must be released. At the same time, we can talk about these extra-dimensional beings and human beings that do not want humanity to awaken. They don't want us to be a part of the cosmic collective, aware of our position and our part in the universe. So they will create these situations that will cause that exact opposite frequency in you to block you. The idea is to block you from stepping into unity consciousness or whatever ascension-based cycle or shift is trying to occur. So if I am someone that doesn't want you to wake up, and unity consciousness is coming and I don't want that, I'm gonna try to activate the opposite frequencies in you. If you're a human, I know that I can do that using your survival-based instincts. So that is the intention, or one of the intentions behind what's happening in the world right now. They count on your response to be survival-based, to be reactive, to be like believing in scarcity, to be acting in scarcity, to be believing in fear and acting in fear, believing in isolation and feeling that in your body and feeling disconnected from one another. All of that gives them energetic permission for, more of that. It's just what you're vibrating at. But if I vibrate at unity, if I vibrate at peace, if I intentionally meet with any survival instinct reactions that come up in me with loving presence, as many people have been doing for a long time in your healing work. How do we heal? We meet with things with loving presence. If I do all those things, I am unaffected and I vibrate at abundance, and the shift continues. You can use their nefarious intention as a sacred doorway to even higher levels of light. They know it's a risk, but they count on your instinctual response. But we're braver than that, and we're lighter than that, and your light is stronger. So as much as external circumstances may tell you otherwise, understand that you are awake in abundance. You are awake in unity. We are connected. We are always connected. And we bring unity consciousness into the world fully and completely. We do that within ourselves so it may be reflected outwardly. Any instinctual process in me is an opportunity for me to give that part of myself compassion and love, to awaken more deeply than ever before. This is a way of energetically saying no. We don't want to say no like directly, because that's resistance. It's your focus. But if I focus on peace, obviously I'm saying no to war. It's that kind of thing. It's the natural. I'm just reading through the notes still. Yeah, so this is more guidance on how to move through. The other piece of this at the moment is to step into your light and your power and shine your light as fully as you can. This is the time for all of us sacred light workers to really be like, oh, this is the time that I came for, because it is. So shine your light, shine it, and allow others to receive you and see you. In whatever way that you do, we want to cultivate light and step into service. So on a practical level, as I was saying, you want to, even though there's like, okay, on an outside circumstance, there's isolation and quarantine, how can you do the opposite on a practical way? How can you actually be more connected than ever? Can you regularly call your friends more than ever? Can you connect with nature, connect with yourself, connection? Do that type of thing with all of these different pieces that we're experiencing. So, and of course, honoring the limitations of like looking after yourself if you're unwell and keeping others safe by, maintaining a distance if that's necessary. We do it out of love in our hearts, not because the government told you to or because you are in fear of a virus. We just do it out of loving care, and we're caretaking the situation. It's not about being in denial of what's happening. It's about being in truth on every side of it, in truth in the light, and the truth that abundance is always, and love and unity is always, and connection is always, and the truth of caretaking one another through current changes that have already occurred. So, and as you connect, you say no to isolation energetically. Call your friends, hang out, go outside, depending on, what the rules are where you are. Go into nature every day. Also, this moves into the other piece. My guides were saying to go into nature every day anyway, because it is teaching you to hold peace. That's what nature does. It's non-resistance. It also will help you cleanse your energy, especially empaths out there. The other piece of this is your self-care is really important right now. Understand that some of what you might be feeling may not be yours. How can you release it? Many people already have things they do, like sage smudging or a salt bath, swimming in the ocean. But nature has a neutralizing effect. And putting your feet on the earth as well neutralizes energetic charge. So anything excess that you're carrying or anything that doesn't serve you, you release it into the earth. We want to be doing unity-based meditations. A lot of people are doing a call to action to set up group meditations at the moment. Participate, so you can really feel the light of everyone around us, and you're connected to the web of love that we each are. There's also metta or loving kindness meditation in Buddhism. However you do it, do unity meditations, sending love to the world, compassionate meditations. Connect to your spirit more than ever before. Meditate every day, connect with your spirit guides. This is a time to awaken deeply, also to recognize that you are not alone. All of us, your room right now is filled with spirit guides. Anytime you've ever said, please help, a bunch of them came. And they don't go till you say go. So you are not alone, and it's time for you to get that in a tangible way. Practice your intuition, practice your meditation. Connect, you have a whole team with you. I also offer spirit guide channeling for this very reason, in session or on its own. So you can be like, oh, I have perfect guidance coming to me at all times. Be aware of your focus. Be aware that your focus affects change. Maintain a solid focus on the positivity. Believe in humanity, even any darkness or any negative anything. Can you have compassion or simple faith beyond that? We are awakening. Humanity can awaken. That's why the light beings of love, like the Pleiadians and Arcturians, are here for us. Just because the world is revealing its darkness that's always been, don't give up on humanity. Believe in us more fully than ever before. This shift is happening because of the work that we've been doing. That's the proof. We're amazing. And we are stepping into a greater fifth dimensional consciousness. Affirm what you wish to create. I am peace. I am light. I am abundance. The world is beautiful. The world is good. Whatever you feel, get yourself to feel that sensation. The other important thing my guides were saying, I said it earlier, hold the light. When I said, what am I meant to do, like for me personally, in this shift, they were saying, and collectively, hold the light. Maintain your focus on the light and step out of the way and wait it out. Wait it out while the rest of the darkness is not dealing very well, not coping very well with the light that's hitting the planet. That's all you're seeing, is them trying to regain power and control because it's not going so well. Wait it out and trust in the process. Trust in this process of unfoldment. This is how all of our unfoldments go, individually and externally, collectively. Your tears come up and then you are renewed. The darkness arises and we are renewed. It's the same process. There's always light beneath. Trust the process, wait it out. See this process as passing. It's a passing wave. It is a passing wave, just as all of our waves of anger or frustration, whatever you meet with in your healing process individually, you've noticed it's just a wave that passes, and then you're left with more light. So just checking the notes here. Okay, the last things are, I had to tell you that I saw a Pleiadian space cloud ship off my balcony, which was really cool. What I mean is that there's a big cloud and it looks kind of, you're like, that looks a bit odd. Sometimes it's just a cloud. If you energetically tune in, you will notice that some extra dimensional beings use cloaking, so they'll kind of in various ways make their ship look like natural or invisible or whatever. But I tuned into it and I realized it was Pleiadians, and I was like, oh hey, and it was amazing. And it's amazing that they're this close to the earth at this time. It was significant. I knew it was significant, and so I opened to understanding. And they just said, we are with you, and they want us to know that they are with us. We are not alone. We have so much support. Open yourself to that support in your meditation or your intuitive practice. Notice it. The more you notice it, the more you allow it, the more you receive it. They said, we are with you. And also they suggested that breathing meditations at this time are important. So what breathing meditations can you do? Can you do a Google and find one that feels good to you? Relaxation, calming, maybe energizing and uplifting. The breath is your life force energy. It is, my guide's saying, it's a tool for awakening. So that would be why they were saying it was important. This is a tool for awakening. Because it cleanses, because it purifies and activates all these different things. The last thing I want to leave you with is to play, relax, and keep practicing your joy. This life is still as perfect as it always was. It is sacred and beautiful. Your dreams are completely possible. This situation is passing. It is passing, and we are moving into greater realms of light. Believe in your dreams, believe in one another. Keep taking those steps towards your joy and your heart, living your heart's dreams. And play and relax. Be playful, let it go and just be. I don't know how you like to play, but you might like to just run around or do cartwheels, or I like to do that. Maybe you like to paint, maybe you like to laugh with friends. How can you relax? How can you play and be in your inner child creative self? We are joyful, we are naturally awakened already. This is our time to shine. And we are so sacred and so beautiful. And we got this. We've got this. Take care of yourself. Meditate, self-care, listen to your guides, and believe in love. Believe in each other.